Good morning, everyone. I'll introduce myself. I am Sridhar. Okay, so I'm having around 17 plus years of experience. I worked on different domains, starting with C language, C++, Java, and from last 11 and a half or 12 years, I'm into this SAP platform. I'm purely into technical side. Okay, so I I worked on ABAP, the complete ABAP part, all the technical modules only, WebDim Pro, UI5, and currently into what ABAP ANA. So from last 12 years, I'm working as a pure technical consultant on different modules of what SAP. Okay, right. Fine. So even some of you are already into SAP. Let me start with a very scratch level. Okay. So this ABAP is a complete programming module. Okay. So if we are interested in the programming side only, we have to get into what ABAP. Okay. So ABAP is a programming language for what SAP. It's completely technical module, right? So as part of our syllabus is concerned, we have segregated this ABAP into three parts. Okay, one is basic ABAP. We call it as core ABAP. Okay, and then what oops ABAP, and then what cross applications. Okay, so if you are projecting ourselves as ABAP consultant, okay, it is expected that we know all these three things. Okay, so for company wise or for interview perspective, there is nothing like core ABAP, nothing like cross apps. Okay, if you are saying yourself as ABAP consultant, either 1 year experience or 10 years experience, we are expected to know all these areas: basic ABAP, object oriented ABAP, and what cross applications. Okay, and if you take this to begin with, we need to start with what basic ABAP. So this basic ABAP would take for 2 to 2.5 months, 2 to 2.5 months, and then object oriented ABAP for 45 days, and cross applications for another 40 to 45 days. Okay, so if you do these three sub modules one after the other, the course would take minimum what 5 months if you do it one by one. Okay, so if you don't have this 5 months of time, what you can do is you can attend parallel sessions in the sense, if you don't have this 5 months of time, initially you need to start with what basic ABAP. Okay, so after few weeks of basic ABAP, you will be in a position to understand what object oriented and what cross application. So if you attend these things in other time slots, that is parallelly, then you can complete the course in what 3 to 3.5 months. Okay, so option is open to you whether you want to do it one by one or whether you want to attend in the parallel slots. Okay, parallel slots also, I suggest that initially you need to focus only on what basic ABAP. Okay, for after some 3 to 4 weeks of basic ABAP, then you will be in a position to understand what object oriented and what cross applications. If you already know ABAP, if you already know programming in ABAP, then you can you can immediately start attending what all the three modules. So that's your wish again. Okay, and the classes would be from generally from Monday to Friday, and timings, it's not 7:30 a.m., it's 6:30 a.m. Okay, timings would be from 6:30 a.m. in the morning, and as part of the course, we'll be sending the daily emails. Okay, so this daily emails includes the detailed notes, the diagrams, the programs, whatever we discuss in the live session. So during the session, you need not copy anything or you need not take any programs. Everything will be sent through what email. And apart from that, we'll also be sharing the video recordings. Okay, video recordings for what preview access. Okay, so during the course, these video recordings will be available. Okay, so the prerequisites for doing this ABAP is you don't require any programming background. Okay, if you have the programming background, understanding ABAP would be easy. But even if you don't know also, even if you are from functional background, the main thing is we should have interest on this ABAP because it is completely programming. We should take some time for practice, then you can easily do this particular ABAP. Most of the people will think that for doing ABAP they should know C language, Java, something like that. Okay, not necessary. If you know those things, understanding this would become easy. Otherwise also, we assume that we don't know anything in ABAP and we'll start from very zero level. Okay, so this is the plan. Okay, so day wise we'll send the programs, diagrams, everything. So during the session you need not copy anything, just focus on the program flow. Okay, so detailed notes also will be shared. Okay, you can refer these notes and you can practice the examples that we discussed in the live session. That is more than sufficient. Okay, that is more than sufficient what to become strong on ABAP. Okay, you need not refer any other material, but apart from this, if you require any further information, always SAP will provide the online help. If you press F1, okay, you'll get the online help. So that is more than sufficient. You need not rely on any other material. Whatever the material I share, that is more than sufficient for 1 year or 10 years of experience. Okay, done. Right. So as I told you, this ABAP is a what programming model. But before that, again, 1 second, please. I'll start from very basic level, assuming that some of you doesn't know anything about what SAP. Yeah. So everything is there here. You need not take anything. So this SAP, we generally pronounce it as SAP only. We should not pronounce it as SAP. Okay. Always pronounce it as what SAP. So this stands for what systems, applications, and products used for what data processing. That is the abbreviation for what SAP. Systems, applications, and products. What is this SAP? SAP is a ERP product. Okay, enterprise resource planning. Okay, so first let us quickly understand what is this ERP. Okay, so most of you are already aware in the market we'll have different programming languages, we have different packages, we have different databases, we have different operating systems. So this SAP, it doesn't come under programming language. It is not an ordinary package. It is not a database or it is not a operating system. Okay, suppose in the market we have different programming languages, like we have what C, C++, Java, .NET, Pascal, all those things comes under what? Programming language. So what exactly a programming language contains? It contains what? Some set of what? Statements used for what? Developing what? Application. Suppose if you take our English, okay, so it is a medium of instruction through which I am communicating with you people. Okay, every language has got its own what medium own instructions. Okay, so we need to know that instructions and we need to communicate. Similarly, every programming language contains what their own set of statements. Okay, so if you are saying that you are a C language developer, okay, we are expected to know all the statements, all the functions, all the keywords which are available in what C language. Okay, using those statements, keywords, okay, we will be developing the applications, nothing but called as what packages. Suppose most of you might be aware of C language. In C language, how do we display the output? Printf. How do we read the input? Scanf. In C++, we do the same thing by using what? Cout and what? Cin. In Java, we use what? System.out.println, system.in. What? Read. So every programming language contains their own statements. So we should know that statements and develop the applications. Okay, we need to write the business logic to develop the applications. Okay, done. Then we have something called as packages. What are the examples for packages here? Our MS Office, MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Tally, Wings, some accounting packages, Tally, Wings, Focus, all those things comes under what? Package. Suppose if you take our MS Word, in MS Word, do we write any programs? No. What we'll do, we'll open the MS Word and we'll start using it. So a package is nothing but what? It is a ready to use what? Product. Okay, so packages are developed using what? Programming language. So in order to develop these packages, we require what? Programming languages. Understood? Similarly, we have something called as databases. Okay, so what is a database? It is used for storing the data permanently in the form of what? Table. So again, we have different database in the market. We have Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, like that. We have many databases. It is a place where we store the interrelated data in the form of what rows and what columns, in the form of tables, rows and columns. Suppose for example, employee information. I want to store the employee information. So what I have to do, I need to create some table called as employee. Inside the table I'll create some columns like employee number, employee name, employee salary, employee designation, employee department, like that. I'll create some interrelated columns and I'll store the data. So it is a place where we store the data permanently. Then operating system means which controls our entire machine. We have different operating systems. So why we are discussing all these things is SAP doesn't comes under these categories. Okay, SAP comes under what? ERP product. So just like we have different programming languages, okay, we have different ERP products in the market. Like we have SAP, we have Oracle applications, we have Siebel, PeopleSoft, Ban, JD Edwards, Microsoft Dynamics, like that. Many ERP products are available in the market. So SAP is one of the ERP products. So ERP stands for what? Enterprise Resource Planning. So let us understand what is ERP and how this ERP is different from these six. Right. So enterprise resource planning. So just to give an idea on ERP, suppose for example you want to do ABAP course. Okay, you want to do ABAP course. What you will do, will you directly go to your institute, pay the amount and join the course? No, right? What we'll do first, we'll inquiry about the what institute, we'll inquiry about the trainer. Okay, we'll discuss with the existing students, existing references. Okay, we'll attend some sessions. Okay, we'll find out the services provided by them. Okay, so we'll collect all those information, then we'll decide where to join. Similarly, suppose if you take a business example, suppose I want to purchase a laptop. Okay, again what you will do, you'll visit different showrooms, you'll take the quotations from what different vendors. I'll take the quotation from Dell, I'll take the quotation from HP, LG, like that. You'll take the quotations. Then after collecting the quotations from different companies, what we will do, we will analyze the quotation. We'll analyze which is the quotation which is best suited for your requirement, cost factor, resources, all those things. Okay, then once you have decided to purchase the product, what you will do, you will raise the order, then the laptop will be delivered to the customer. So just to give an idea on that, suppose just take the simple example. Okay, so everything is already available, so I don't want to waste time in drawing all those things. So just observe this. See here, suppose as a simple business scenario, you are a customer. Okay, what you will do as a customer, you will inquiry about the product, any product. So whenever we inquire the product, what you will get, you will get the quotation. Understood? So who will give this quotation? Assume that in that company we have a department called as what? Marketing department. That marketing people will give you the information. That information in business terminology I am calling it as what? Quotation. Understood? Right? So you'll collect the quotations from different vendors, different companies. You'll analyze the quotation, then you have decided to purchase a product from a particular company. So what you will do, you will raise the order, you will tell how much quantity you require, to which address it has to be delivered, by which date you want that product, all those information you will provide. So then what happens, you might be interacting with what? Sales department. Initially as a customer you are interacting with what department? Marketing department, to take what? Information in the form of what? Quotation. Then when we have decided to purchase a product, you might be interacting with what? Sales department. So what this sales department will do, they'll prepare some business documents, they'll prepare some purchase order, sales order document, like that. These are all the business documents. Okay, right. Assume that the customer has placed an order to purchase some what? Some three laptops. Okay, so what the company has to do, company has to check whether stock is available or not, na? So internally you can see the arrow pointer here, the sales department, you can see they are sending the request to which department? Warehouse department, or in general term we call it as what? Go down, inventory. Why they are sending the request to that department? Checking for what? Stock availability. So if the stock is available, what happens? The request is sent to the billing department, who are responsible for generating the bill invoice, and then the goods are delivered to what? Customer. The process might be different, but I have simplified it. Okay, done. Assume that the stock is not available. Assume that stock is not available. So what you will do? what the company has to do, company has to take some time from the customer. Okay, or in other words, suppose you came for inquiry for some module. As of now the batch is not there. Okay, but what we'll do, we'll take your information. Whenever that batch is planned, we'll intimate you. Similarly here also, okay, we need to what, the company is going to take some time from the customer, so they have decided to what, manufacture the product because the stock is not available. So if the stock is not available, the request is sent to which department? What? Production department. So what is the responsibility of this department? To manufacture the products. Okay, so to manufacture any product, what the production department requires? They require what? Raw material, right? So a request is sent to a department called as what? Material management. They will supply what? Raw material to the production department. They'll manufacture the product and then it will be delivered to what? Customer. Assume that sufficient raw material is not available in the company. Sufficient raw material is not available, so what the company has to do? Company has to purchase the raw material. So a request might be sent to a department called as what? Purchase department. What these people will do? They will invite quotations from what? Different vendors. Earlier company has given the quotation to what? Customer. Now the company itself is taking the quotations from what? Different vendors, suppliers. Again this department will analyze which is the best quotation. Okay, they will decide to purchase a product from so and so vendor. So to purchase they require some funds. So again what happens? A request is sent to which department? Finance department. Request for what? Funds. So what you have to understand in this business process is, there are two types of departments involved here. What are they? Front end departments and what? Back end. This yellowish color is what? Front end, and this bluish color is what? Back end. What is the difference between these two? Front end department is what? Where the customer will directly interact. Back end means what? Where the customer will not interact directly. Okay, so without the customer knowledge, many departments are internally exchanging the information, right? So this is a typical one of the business process in a company. Okay, now assume that this process is not automated, it is not computerized. All the information between the departments is exchanged manually, it is not automated. So what is the problem with the manual business process? Yes, forget about automation. All the information is exchanged what? Manually. So what is the problem? Yes, you understood? It is not computerized. Everything is what? Performed manually. So what is the limitations? Time factor. It will take more time. Then there is no security for your data. We require lots of manpower. You cannot guarantee the accuracy of data. We can avoid the data duplication. We cannot avoid, because the same data again and again we may exchange. Understood? So there are many limitations with the manual business process. So what the big organizations will do, they will what? They want to automate their business process. Means they need to integrate all the departments. Why they have to integrate? Because the departments are exchanging the information. So they need to integrate all the departments. So for integrating their business process, they will go for what? ERP products. Understood? Why only ERP products? Why not programming languages? What is the agenda here? We need to integrate this business process. So for integration, I require some software. So why I should go for ERP only? Why not for programming languages? Anyone? Yes, online or classroom. Agenda is what? To what? Automate this business process. For automation, I require some software. So why I should go for ERP? Why not for this programming languages? Anyone? Yes, Ram?
ERP is coming with a set of applications, so we can directly use the applications and we can set up our
Correct.
business.
Yeah. So if I go for programming languages for automation, everything we need to develop from the scratch. Everything we need to develop from what? Scratch. For example, assume like this. Suppose we have a company called as Reliance. Okay, Reliance wants to automate their business process. This company is into multiple business na? Okay, they are into what? Footprints. Am I clear? They are into what? Insurance. Okay, they are into what? Oil and what? Refinery. Am I clear? The same company is into what? Different sectors, different businesses. Okay, so they want to automate their business process, and this company might have business in multiple countries. They might have business in India. Okay, they might have business in US. They might have business in Australia, like that. They might have business in what? Multiple countries. So everything they need to what? Automate. So assume that to automate their business process, for example, they require some, assume that they require some 50,000 screens. For example, I'm saying, okay, to automate the entire business process of Reliance, they require what? 50,000 screens. Okay, so these screens are part of what? Different departments. Okay, so if I go for programming languages, all these screens we need to develop from the beginning, from the scratch. Okay, after developing, what I have to do? I have to integrate those screens, I have to link those screens, I have to link those departments, I need to link those businesses. This integration is a tedious task if you go for what? Programming languages. Or assume that if I perform that operation in India, I should calculate everything in terms of rupees. If I calculate the same business operation in US, I need to calculate in what? Dollars. So country wise, the what? The tax policies will be different, the currencies will be different, measurements will be different. So if I go for programming language, everything we need to customize from the scratch, from the beginning. So the advantage of ERP is, for example, SAP is what? One of the ERP product. So assume that Reliance has decided to automate their business process by using what software? SAP software. So they'll purchase what? SAP software. So when they purchase SAP software, assume that the SAP software has got how many screens? Overall, it contains what? 60,000 screens. But according to Reliance business requirement, how many screens they require? 50,000 screens. So what we need to do as a consultant, means I mean to say functional consultant, technical consultant, we need to understand the customer business process. We need to first understand customer business process and map that particular business process to what? SAP software. Means I should know what are the transactions are readily available, what are the transactions which require enhancements, what are the transactions which require modifications, what are the new transactions that I need to develop, okay, what is the new customization I need to do. All those things is nothing but we need to do the mapping. Means Reliance require how many screens? 50,000 screens. So assume that out of 50,000 screens, SAP contains how many screens? 60,000 screens. For example, I'm saying. So out of 60,000, 10,000 screens can be what? Directly used. Okay. Another 5,000 screens requires what? What? Modification. Okay. Another 5,000 screens requires what? Enhancement. Okay, and another 30,000 screens are what? The new development in the sense what? New development in the sense what? Those screens are not available in what? SAP. But Reliance, according to Reliance requirement, they require that screens. So on behalf of Reliance customer, I need to develop that particular new transactions. Am I clear? So when I purchase SAP software, I cannot use it as it is. There might be some transaction which I may be able to use directly. Some screens require what? Modification. Some screens require what? Enhancement. Some screens, they are not available in SAP software. We need to develop the customer specific screens. That is nothing but what? New development. Who will do this new development? By ABAP consultant. Who will do this enhancement? By ABAP consultant. Who will modify these screens? By ABAP consultant. Who will identify this all these things? Functional consultant. Okay, we'll have two categories: functional consultants and what? Technical consultant. So the job of functional consultant is you need to understand, okay, what are the transactions that can be directly used, what are the enhancements we need to do, what are the new transactions that we need to do, okay, how to do that enhancement, how to develop that new screens. Functional consultant not aware. Who is going to do that part? ABAP consultant, nothing but what? Technical consultant. Functional consultant job is to understand what? Customer business process and map that process with what? SAP. Map that process with what? SAP, and identify what are the changes we require, what are the new development we require, all those things. Am I clear? Okay, so the advantage of SAP is what? You take any kind of business, the what? Solution is available. Just we need to customize it according to our customer requirement. Again, SAP cannot predict the business requirements of all the customers. SAP cannot predict the business requirements of all the customers. They'll give a generalized solution. Okay, we need to customize it according to our requirement, our customer requirement. Done. So that is the reason the big organizations who are into what? Different types of business across countries, they'll go for what? ERP products. Okay, and in that ERP products, SAP is a leader. SAP is a leader in the sense SAP provides solution for any kind of business. Understood? And SAP has got more customers worldwide. That is why SAP is a leader in what? ERP. I am not saying that the other ERPs are not good. They are good. But SAP has got more customers, and SAP has got solution for any kind of what? Business requirement. Okay. If you take Oracle apps, it is very good for what? Finance module. Okay. PeopleSoft, it is very good for what? HR module. But if you take SAP, you take any kind of department, finance, okay, HR, marketing, production, whatever it is, everything SAP will provide what? This what? Solution for that. Done. So to avoid the limitations of this manual business process, customers will go for automating their process by using what? ERP products. Done. So we understood the meaning of what? ERP. So it is something like this. ERP stands for what? E stands for what? Organization. Every organization will contain what? Different types of what? Departments. Finance department, sales department, production, HR, customer care, all those things. Okay. So to run any organization, we require minimum resources. Na? Suppose I want to run the training institute. Just like that, I cannot run the institute. Na? I require what? Money, machinery, marketing, material, manpower, all those things. Okay. So these resources are managed by what? Departments. There should be proper communication between the departments. These departments has to properly exchange the information. Then only the organization will run in what? Profits. So what is the main aim of any ERP product? Efficient utilization of what? These resources by integrating, by linking what? All the departments of the organization, so that the organization runs in what? Profits. You take an ERP product, the agenda is what? To integrate all the departments so that the resources are utilized what? Efficiently, which will lead to what? Organization profits. That's what here also now we are integrating what? All the departments. Okay. Right. So any question on this part online? I know for some of you it's boring because already you are into SAP from so many years, but okay, we need to start from a very scratch level. Done? Right. So, coming to this SAP now, we can segregate any ERP product into different modules, functional modules, technical modules, and then what? Administration modules. So if you take functional modules, we have many functional modules: FICO, finance controlling, sales distribution, CRM, HR, MM, okay, PP, production plan, like that. We have what? Many functional modules. Who has to go for functional modules? If you are from this background, MBA, ICWA, CA, MCOM, BCOM, okay, these people, they'll start their SAP career with one of the functional module. Okay, if you are from technical background, BTech, MTech, MCA, MSc, BSc, BCA kind of thing, to start your career in SAP, we need to start with what? ABAP. Okay, understood? Because ABAP is a startup module. Again, as I told you, ABAP what is a base? It contains 3 submodules: core ABAP, OOPS ABAP, and what? Cross applications. Okay, so once we are done with ABAP, depending on our gap or depending on your experience, you need to get into what other technical modules. So to get into any other technical modules, okay, first we should be strong in what? ABAP. Okay, especially what? Object oriented. Because if you take any future technologies, everything is based on what? Object oriented. Okay, so we should be very strong in object oriented to get into UI5, WebDim Pro, or even some parts of what? ANA, CRM technical, all those things. Done. And again, this is completely what? Administration module. If you are interested in what? Networking, installation, okay, backup, data backup, system setup, data recovery, we'll go for what? Administration module. Which module is good means, I cannot say exactly that ABAP is good, others are bad. Any module in SAP is what? Equally good. Okay, we need to go for that module depending on the opportunities we have in the market. Okay, and depending on your academic background and experience. Okay, and again, throughout your career, you cannot work as a technical consultant, or you cannot work only as a functional consultant. As the experience grows on, you should get into what? Techno functional. Suppose if I'm saying that I'm having 10 years of experience on SAP, I know only ABAP means it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Understood? There are some people, what, even they're having 7 to 8 years of experience, they might be working only on ABAP. But now in the future or in the current market, only one module is not sufficient. Compulsorily, we have to get into what? Multiple modules to increase your job opportunities or to keep our job safe. Am I clear? So as the experience grows on, you are expected to work as a techno-functional consultant. Done. So this ABAP comes under what? Programming module. ABAP is a programming language for what? SAP. ABAP is a programming language for SAP. What are the screens we see in SAP? Okay, right? What are the development activities we do in SAP? All those things is carried out by using what? ABAP only. Okay, every ERP will have its own programming language. Suppose if you take Oracle apps, okay, for Oracle apps, the programming language is what? SQL, PLSQL. SQL, PLSQL. Similarly, for SAP, the programming language is what? ABAP. Okay, this ABAP stands for Advanced Business Application Programming. Advanced Business Application Program. Done. So, any questions on this part so far? Please stop me. Okay, wherever you have questions, you can use the chat box or you can unmute and ask. Any questions? None. Okay. Right, so we understood that SAP is a ERP product, and in that SAP ERP, what is the programming language? ABAP is a programming language. ABAP stands for what? Advanced Business Application Programming. Okay, so if you're an ABAP consultant, and you're having some 1 year experience or 10-year experience, what is the role of ABAP consultant? Okay, what kind of development that we do in ABAP? Okay, so that anyhow we'll be discussing in the coming classes. ABAP consultant is responsible for rise of development. Is responsible for what? Rise of development. Okay, reports, interfaces, conversions, enhancements, and what? Forms. That is the abbreviation for what? Rise of. Okay, so as an ABAP consultant, you might be involved in these things, in the development of these things. So this rise of stands for what? What? Reports, interfaces, conversions, enhancements, and what? Forms. So all these things together is nothing but our ABAP syllabus, which includes basic ABAP, object-oriented ABAP, and what? Cross applications. Okay, so more about this I will be discussing in what? Coming classes, right? Coming classes. Right. So there are other things also here. Suppose ABAP is a programming language, na? So every programming language has got what? Data type. Suppose if you take C language, okay, C language. How do you declare integers? You will say what? Int. In C++ also we use the same thing. C or C++ or what? Java. Okay, so in all these languages, for declaring integer, we use a keyword what? Int. Okay, for declaring decimal values, float values, will go for what? Float. For character, you'll use what? Chr. Okay, so every programming language contains what? Data types. Similarly, ABAP also comes under contains what? Different data types. So data types means it indicates what kind of value we'll be storing in the what that particular variable. So let me open the syllabus just here. Syllabus here. So first 2 3 sessions, 2 3 days, okay, we'll be discussing only the theoretical part. Theoretical part. So as I told you, there are other people who will be joining most probably from Friday. Friday onwards, I'll be starting the what practical sessions. Okay, so after that, every day will be programming session only. Everything will be programming only. But initial 2 3 days, we'll be discussing the theoretical part just to understand what is the role of ABAP consultant. Okay, what is the architecture of this SAP system. Okay, right? What are the different types of objects we develop? All those things we'll discuss in the next 1 or 2 classes. Okay, from Friday onwards, we will be starting with what? ABAP introduction. We'll be getting into what? Programming part. Okay, so this is the syllabus for what? Core ABAP. And again, it is not possible to follow the same sequence. Okay, I may not be following the same sequence. I'll be what? Taking the topics randomly because we'll have some dependencies. Okay, suppose to discuss this database access, I should have the knowledge of something else, so I'll be completing of those things first and then coming back to what? Database access. So I'll be not following the same sequence which is available in the syllabus. I'll be following my own sequence. Okay, this complete is what? Basic ABAP only. Okay, right? And one more point is, so as I told you, this core ABAP, it is scheduled for what? Morning 6:30 a.m. to what? 7:30 a.m. But again, see, I may not be starting exactly at 6:30. It may get delayed for sometime 5 10 minutes or even 15 minutes. But official time is what? 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. And my suggestion is be flexible till 7:45. Batch may get extended till what? 7:45 going forward. Okay, so this is the current what this thing, this is started on what? Today 10th July. Okay, and if anyone interested to attend the parallel sessions, okay, if you already know some part of ABAP, if you feel that you can cope up, cross apps batch, okay, I'm going to start within a week. Okay, within a week. Okay, and the probable timings for this is it can be at 7:30 a.m. to what? 8:30 a.m. or it might be from 8:30 a.m. to what? 9:30 a.m. This is the probable slot. And oops ABAP already started, 3 days completed. Okay, and this is from 11:30 a.m. to what? 12:30 p.m. in the afternoon. 11:30 a.m. 12:30 p.m. Okay, so in case if you want to attend this core and cross parallelly, that is your wish. Oops ABAP, it started 3 days back. If you still want to attend, you can attend. Or else every 45 days, 2 months, we'll be starting a separate batch for cross applications and separate batch for what? Object and ABAP. So anytime during the course, if you want to attend parallel sessions, in here you will get the intimation about the new batches. You can attend and you can plan accordingly and attend. Okay, so this is the current schedule. Okay, so hope everyone is comfortable with this timing. Latika, you were asking for evening batch, but evening no, I'm having other assignments, so evening batches I'm not taking from last so many years. Only morning batches. So I hope this timing is fine with you, Latika and others. Yeah, done. So what I'll do is I'll stop for today. Tomorrow onwards, I will discuss in detail about what this particular rise of development. What exactly this report meaning, interface meaning, we'll discuss elaborately, and we'll get into ABAP data types, ABAP programming rules. Once we are done with this, we can start with the programming part. Okay, only initial 2 3 days it will be theoretical session. Otherwise, from day 3 or day 4 onwards, everything will be practical oriented. Okay, but we should have interest on the programming. Then only I suggest get into what ABAP, and it requires practice. ABAP is very easy provided if you practice. Okay, chalo then. So I'm minding off. We'll continue tomorrow.